Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome to the underground laboratory where we create robots, alien zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. And we also make comics. And today is day 11 of 100 days of making comics, round 2, where I work on my personal comic book project, Young and the Dead. This is issue 1, this is issue 2, and this is issue 3. They're all available at my website at serkworks.com, as well as these. The little upgrades, the mini comic versions of each issue. All available at serkworks.com, as well as a bunch of other stuff. If you are a mad scientist in training and you need some stuff to fill your growing underground laboratory, we've got stuff for you. Check it out at serkworks.com. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about comics. We're gonna move on with our comic book, my comic book, Young and the Dead. And what is it all about? What is my comic book about? And what is this challenge all about? My comic book it's called Young and the Dead, like I said before. But what is that? What does that mean? Young meaning Sam Young, the main character, who wakes up to find himself in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. So it's kids versus zombies. It's like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead. If you're into all those kid-centric adventure films of the 1980s, Goonies, Monster Squad, Explorers, all that kind of stuff, Stand By Me, I think you're gonna dig it. Or maybe that's a little too old school for you. You're more what's happening now. If you're familiar with Stranger Things. Now I know they sound familiar. I've been working on this for a while before Stranger Things. I am a big Stranger Things fan, by the way. But if you're into Stranger Things, you'll probably dig this one as well. But anyway, oh, and then the challenge, what is the challenge about? 100 Days of Making Comics is where you spend 30 minutes a day, every day, working on your own personal comic book project. And that's what I'm gonna do. Today I'm gonna get work on day 11. So we're gonna go to the paralleloscope and we're gonna see what's going on. All right, we are knee-deep in comics right now. So what I've been working on, besides learning Manga Studio, trying to figure that whole program out, is just thinking about the script, thinking about the pacing and everything like that. But before I get too much further with that, before I actually start drafting the script out, what I typically do when I write comics is, well, when you do a script, typically you'll have that script and then a lot of times you'll thumbnail. Once you have that script, you'll kind of thumbnail out to kind of figure out what angles you want to use and all that stuff, and just kind of establish all your shots and everything and what's going to go on. And so you do that with thumbnails, and that, at least, I don't know how most people work, but I assume most people do that after the script, which is what I do. But before I actually do the script, I do what I've been calling pre-thumbs, which are very rough, even way rougher than thumbnails, just to kind of figure out where everything's going on the page and everything. It's part of that pacing thing. That way I can kind of look at that before I commit to doing any writing or any typing as far as the script goes. Now, like I said, I've been calling those pre-thumbs, but when I was doing the Artcasters, Joshua Kimball, who I also host the Artcasters with, brought up another name for those. He said we should call them something else, the pre-thumbs, and he suggested Pinkies, I guess because you've got thumbnails, and so Pinkies, and I really like that, so let's try to make that stick. So that's what I'm going to do today, is I'm going to work on some Pinkies. So the key to these Pinkies are not to be too precious. I'm just trying to get an idea, and this is only for me. No one else is going to be, if I show this to anyone else, they're not going to know what any of this stuff is. But since it's in my mind when I'm drawing, it's just a matter of putting it on paper, and then even when I look back at it, sometimes I'm like, oh, what's that? You know, but it's sort of cathartic. It's a good way to just get the ideas out there. So I can refer back to it when writing the script, so I kind of know the pacing and everything. I know more or less how many panels I need, and it will change as it goes on. So the key to not making it so precious is not even touch a pencil. I don't want, if you know, the whole thing is just done with my little fine point Sharpie pen, and just get everything down. Some of the angles will probably change once I think of, you know, once I really start thinking of you know, where we want to, how we want those views to be and everything. And even some of it is just, you know, it's all stick figures. It's little you know, of course, and also it helps, like when I'm writing out the pages, it helps me know what page is what and everything. So it really helps when I get to actually like typing that script out and everything. Just a you know, just one of those things. And not everyone uses this, and it's not everyone has to really. It's just something that works for me. And I don't know, I've kind of always done something similar to this. But you'll see the difference between these thumbnails, or these pinkies and the thumbnails once I get around to the actual thumbnail stage. And you know, with that thumbnail stage, you can go as far as you want. A lot of people do it really detailed. Mine's somewhere in the middle, but I've seen some really, really detailed and in-depth thumbnails. But we'll see. I might go a little further with them when I get to that point. Bump, bump, bump. Another day of 100 days of making comics bites the dust. Let's say goodbye to day 11. I'll see you tomorrow for day 12. See you then, that is all. Hey everyone, you've seen the process. Now you can check out the story. Issues 1 through 3 of Young and the Dead are available at my website at serkworks.com. Also follow me on social media at the links listed below. Subscribe and check out some of the other videos in the series. There's much more to come.